Hello there and welcome to another episode of MLS Ireland. Well, I'll be bringing to you my predictions for week 12, so stay tuned. Thank you for joining me this week. I want to start off saying thank you to all my subscribers for subscribing. It helps a lot just to see that actually people actually watch this thing, so interesting. And I want to say a big shout out to Philadelphia, who are doing pretty well at the moment. Congratulations to them, and I kind of think everybody's quite surprised that they're actually doing this quite well, so fair play to them. So I want to start off with the first game, Montreal against New York Revolution, who just got a brand new manager in Bruce Arena. It's going to be an interesting game. Montreal is their third game at home, I believe, and I think it's going to be one of those games that's going to be pretty hard to predict. Montreal haven't really played much at home, and they haven't really done. They've won a game and they've lost a game, and they're doing what Philadelphia did last year. They're kind of getting beat by the smaller teams and then beating the bigger teams. So this one's going to be quite a different mindset to ones, but I'm going to go for Montreal just to nick this one 2-1. I just think New England if they're going to do anything today, I think it's going to be one of those games where it's more not tactical but more heart and more passion really going to win them this game. But I think just Montreal is going to have a wee bit too much for them at home, so I'm just going to go for a 2-1 victory for Montreal. The next one is Real Salt Lake against Toronto, and that's it's completely different kettle of fish. Real Salt Lake haven't been doing great this season, and they haven't really done anything really that bad. It's just an interesting situation that they're in, and they're taking on Toronto, who looked like they were going to basically walk the East Conference, and now they just kind of started to, how can I put it, not score goals and then just kind of leak in stupid goals. So it's going to be an interesting one. Real Salt Lake do have the capability of beating them, but I think this one's just going to be a bit tight. I think Toronto may just get a goal. If anything to go by was off last week against DC United, on Wednesday, that is, they're going to have like 20 shots and one of them's bound to go in. So I think this one's going to be just a 1-1 draw. Real Salt Lake are a good team at home, and it's probably going to be one of these games where they're actually just going to be more up for it. So I'm going to think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. If not, it's going to be a 2-1 to somebody. So stay tuned to that one. And the next one is San Jose against Chicago Fire. That's going to be on TV here, so I'm looking forward to watching that. San Jose were on a kind of a roll there in the last 4 games, but they got beat by New England last week. So again, it's a weird league. That's why I enjoy it. I think San Jose may have a wee bit too much for Chicago. I think Chicago now are finally figuring out how to play Bastian Schweinsteiger. Sorry. I think they know how now to play him. I think they do know now. They put him in centre defence, and when they have the ball they push him into kind of midfield, and then kind of push him up even further when they're constantly having an attack. But I think they've figured it out. They're doing quite well, but I think San Jose, the manager's figured out his best team, and I think they're going to have a wee bit too much for them. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to San Jose. And the next one is Philadelphia against Seattle. Philadelphia, who are doing pretty good at the moment, and they're taking on Seattle, who are another very good team at the moment. But I think they're just kind of just not hitting the ground where they used to. At the start of the season, they beat Orlando there on the 16th, 2 days ago. It's going to be, so it's a long distance for them to travel, so I'm going to go Philadelphia 2-1, just for the fact Philadelphia are playing quite well at home, and I think it's a long distance for Seattle to travel in 2 days, or 1 day, 3 days, whatever. I think the game was on Wednesday night, I'm not 100% sure. It's a long distance for them to travel in a few days. And then the next one is Minnesota against Columbus Crew. Minnesota are at home, and Columbus Crew are a strange team again this season. They could beat anybody on their day, and they could just lose to anybody on their day. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I would like Minnesota to win at home, because their fans deserve a nice wee victory at home, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Columbus Crew are like a very good team on the road, and they're always kind of set up to be a team on the road. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's Minnesota, I think, may nick one near the end. if their fans are loud enough, but I'm just going to go for a safe 1-0. Then the next one is Houston against DC United. It's going to be on TV here as well. We're in half one, I believe, so I may be up for that. It's going to be, if Houston, it's an interesting one. I think DC United may nick this one if they play their tactics right. If DC United, oh well, as long as they don't play like they did in Toronto, they should do okay. But DC United kind of need to play to Houston's strengths, if that makes any sense. Houston are very good on the counter-attack, and I think DC United should just let them have the ball and not try to counter-attack them and then try to kind of beat them near the end, because Houston mostly lets in their goals after the 70th minute, so I think this is when they're at their weakest and basically they've ran themselves into the ground. So I'm going to go for, it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Houston, because I don't think DC, it's the thing about this league, no teams really set themselves up to be defensive, they set themselves up to be attacking. And I'm going to go for an interesting 1-2-1 to Houston. The next one is the depleted Sporting Kansas City against Vancouver. Vancouver are starting now to play very well. They're looking like a team now that can win, that can beat anybody. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Vancouver. Just for the fact that Sporting Kansas City are down now to their kit man and their grounds man. They're going to be on the bench next, I believe. So it's going to be hard times for them in a couple of weeks now to get their team back up in strength again. And I kind of think that's kind of not their season over. They're still making it to playoffs, but I think them getting into the Champions League or anything like that may be just a bit of a struggle. So who knows? The next one is Orlando against Cincinnati. I'm not 100% sure if Nani's back yet, but I think they still would have enough to beat Cincinnati. 2-1 is what I'm going for. Mueller, Dwyer, if he puts away his chances he did against Atlanta, if he should have put away his chances, the game could have been a different story. I think they should win this game 2-1. I think Cincinnati still finding their feet, and it's just going to be one of those seasons where they just kind of need to know what they're playing against and then prepare for next season, like Minnesota, like LAFC. So it's just going to be one of those games. So I think Orlando's going to win this one 2-1. The next one is going to be on TV here on Sunday, and it's going to be a very good game against Red Bulls against Atlanta. Atlanta should win this game for the fact that now they're finally winning games, and they're defending very, very well, even though they have a defensive manager. I think Red Bulls is going to have a wee bit too much for them. It sounds strange, I know. Red Bulls are, it's one of those games where they'll be more up for it rather than if they're playing against, I don't know, like a Minnesota or like a Sporting Kansas City. I think this kind of game they're going to be more up for it. They're the MLS champions, they're going MLS Cup champions against the Supporter Shield, so I think they're going to be up for this one. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Red Bull. I think Atlanta I think they're just kind of going to miss Barco, and I think if they're going to score a goal, they're going to get one. So it's going to be an interesting game for them. The next one is FC Dallas against LAFC. They already played each other on Wednesday night. Whoever makes up the scheduling is weird as hell. That was a 2-0 win to LAFC. It was probably an easy enough one. So even though FC Dallas are at home, I think they're still going to find this hard against a team probably know how to beat them. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to LAFC. Obviously Carlos Vela is probably going to have a wee bit too much from him, and he's probably going to score, as always he does. And then the next one is LA Galaxy against Colorado Rapids. Zlatan's suspended, so this is going to be an interesting one. Who can score for LA Galaxy? I'm not 100% sure, so it's going to be an interesting game. Colorado Rapids may be more up for this game than LA Galaxy, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to LA Galaxy. Galaxy should have won this game easily if they had Zlatan, but for him being out, I think it's going to be a tight enough game for them. So that is my predictions. I hope you enjoyed them. If you do enjoy these predictions, please subscribe, like, share, anything like that would be pretty cool. And I hope to see you on the next one. So good luck. Bye now.